I hear that.
It do. It be going, cause you remember when church turned up. You remember when church would turn up.
Yeah, they weren't playing this though. I'm sorry.
No, they weren't playing that. But you remember when church would turn up, bro. That was the jam. Wasn't nothing better when you was at church and something turned up.
Ain't nothing better than me saying jam like Johnny Gill.
Jam.
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 Episode 161 Clean Dishes. I hope everyone's doing great this morning. I did my check.
You did my check too?
Yeah, I did.
Let me see. Me.
Is that good enough for you?
Me.
In fact, you trying to hear out the microphone is crazy.
I was glad you picked up on it. I'm glad you picked up what I was putting down.
Alright, we're recording.
Very good.
We're recording on here. We're recording. Nigga.
What?
Alright, nothing fucked up. We good.
What was that?
Stop touching shit.
I ain't touched something. I didn't move my mic.
Alright, you touched something though, didn't you?
My mic.
Alright, you touched something.
Now what?
See, then the whole thing fucked up.
That's your problem.
It's our problem.
It's your problem.
Anyway, I'll say it again. See, you're breaking shit. Episode 161 Clean Dishes.
6.
I hope everyone's doing well this morning. It is 12:15, which you already know. It's 6 p.m. in Calabasas.
Always.
Always 6 p.m. in Calabasas. Time doesn't move there.
Ooh.
So. You want to do the thing, dog?
What thing?
The intro. The
Oh.
so great at.
Oh. Do I gotta talk to him?
Talk to him.
Tell him who I am again?
Please do.
Let him know that Big Fred back in the building again? Yeah.
I think they forgot.
It's Mr. Fredtastic bounced back like elastic. Don't melt cause not plastic. I'm here with the one and only.
Thomas.
A.K.A.
Tommy Two Toes.
A.K.A.
Tofu Tommy.
A.K.A.
Crocodile Lefty. I don't remember two, bro.
Lawrence July.
Lawrence July.
That was it. It was those three.
That's those three.
Oh, 4. I thought you knew Thomas.
That's not a nickname, though.
Well, it was Thomas and you go into it. So
okay.
it's Thomas and then that.
So Thomas, Tommy Two Toes, Tofu Tommy, Lawrence July. All right.
Yeah, the other ones are just...
I can remember that.
Yeah, there you go. Tofu Tommy is still hard.
That's your favorite one?
That's like a real restaurant. Oh, where you going about to go Tofu Tommy? You want something to eat? Not bad. That's why I'm going Tofu Tommy. That probably is... I bet you it is a restaurant. Let me see.
I haven't had tofu in a minute, as a matter of fact.
You haven't. Well, not that I know of. Tofu.
No, I haven't. I thought about getting something. I was like, I don't feel like cooking it.
I think the last time usually when you got it is when we went to the one spot we had in a minute too.
What?
Banchan. And you would get the tofu joint, like the rice or something like that, or you would get something that would have tofu in it.
Was it? Oh, I remember Banchan.
The little Asian
Banchan.
stuff. Yeah,
I remember
chicken.
now. Okay. Yeah,
you would get tofu and chicken. I think that's a crazy combo, but yeah, you would.
I used to make.
Tommy tofu. Oh, boo. Who's Tommy tofu?
I didn't make tofu, but I would like get the tofu from Fry's and I would do the thing here, whatever. But I burnt it too many times, so I was like, nah.
Yeah, tofu. I heard tofu is not that easiest to make if you don't make it a lot. Oh, and he's vegan. Yep. I don't know what this is.
Artesian?
Tommy Tofu _ on Instagram. Shout out to you.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, we gotta tag him in this.
I'm gonna say like,
I'm gonna tag him in this. You're like, oh shit.
I made a mark. I'm trying to get better about social medias. I'm tired, bro.
Tired. Sick and tired of being tired?
Yeah, man. You already know what time it is.
TIRED.
I got 2 Red Bulls in the refrigerator. I'm ready for long nights and early mornings, dog.
I hear that. You said long nights, early mornings.
Hey, you already know what time it is.
You time to get some sleep. That's crazy.
Is it though?
Nah.
Sleep's for the dead.
Well.
Yeah, sadly enough, life of sleep's like that bastard. How you doing? How's things?
Things are great. Things are going well. You know what I mean? Came back from my little vacay in Philly.
You did?
You know what I mean? Went there to go see my little sister graduate. Shout out to her. She don't got no ads to drop, so. But yeah, she don't got social medias.
How old is your sister?
Like 32, 33. I think she's 30. She's actually 32.
I'm jealous. She ain't got a Facebook either?
Nope, she don't have Facebook. She don't have Instagram.
Freedom, bro. No data.
She probably has a LinkedIn.
Nah. I mean,
I feel like she would be professionalism. She probably would have that.
I mean, you don't need LinkedIn, but it's definitely beneficial if you have one.
Yeah. And so she doesn't have one. So yeah, shout out to her. She just got her PhD.
Shout out to her.
Psychology.
Big things.
Yeah. She's the first person in my family to get a PhD. Yeah, she's the first person in my family to get a PhD, and I think it's in. Like, I want to say like something therapy. That's like psychiatric therapy or something like that, or psychology.
Psycho crusher?
All right, let's just start the show.
My bad.
Let's
No,
start
so
the
you
show.
know
You destroyed it.
And all this time I was trying to think of something stupid to say. I really came up on top on that one, huh?
you destroyed it. Ooh, okay, yeah. It wasn't even like in the realm of. It was like,
it's like
you should be like psychopath something, nigga. Like, no, you just was like
the psych part was there.
Psych. Nah, you destroyed it. It was cool. It was good. It was good to be back. I surprised my parents, so that was fun. So,
that was dope. But
I'm back now. I think we talked about that last week on the
yeah,
phone,
we did. You got back early, which was crazy for me because I was ready to come pick you up. You know what I'm saying? But
nah, I got back at the time I said I was gonna come back though.
Nah.
Yeah, I definitely did.
Nah, that's the reason the car was put our crooked.
No, okay. So tell me it's not ignorant, right? So I let somebody borrow. I don't say who.
You don't say who.
Not gonna say who.
Don't worry about who it was.
I'm not gonna say who. Just know 2 people live here, and I wasn't home. So obviously the other person had the car.
Yeah.
And so I let this person borrow the car. I was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna be out of town. Take the whip. You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do. So you have the whip or whatever. You know what I mean?
Go outside, get some fresh air. You know what I'm saying? You be cooped in the house.
So they take the whip. First on the way to the airport, we had to grab some. So I had to grab like mail and stuff like that. Do a final check, make sure I had nothing in the mail.
Who grabbed mail?
We did, because you took me there. Because you took me to go get the mail. Did you not?
Oh my God!
Thomas, was you there? Was you there? Was you there?
Shit.
Was you there?
I was there.
Did you drop me off to go get the mail?
I didn't drop you out. I was with you.
It's like, wait, so you knew there was mail?
I participate in the crime of getting mail, yes.
Hey! I'm painting this picture. So I get the mail, whatever, and then I think we get something else, and then we go.
We just got mail and try to incriminate me for anything.
I just said whatever, and I just said we went. All right, so we go. Come back. I'm just going like 5 days or whatever. He has the car. I come back. And when I come back, I end up coming to the house. I have to go do something. And I go out to my car. This dude is way slimmer than I am. He gonna take and park the car directly next to we park under an awning. He parked the car directly next to this pole. So slim, he had to try to climb. He struggled to get out and in the car. Like it was like a smooth, I opened the door, close. He was like, had to turn to the side to slow himself down even more to get into the car. I come off to the car to go somewhere, and I'm sitting here looking at this, what had to be no more than like 12 inches of space to get into this car. And he go like, oh, I forgot I did that. I'm like, who the fuck borrows somebody's car and does this? How you gonna borrow my car, park it there, then I finally get in the car. Why is all the mail still in the car? All the mail is still in the car. And then on top of that, he got a hoodie and shit in the car.
The car is cold.
I'm like, sir, you left the hoodie in the car, you ain't get the mail, and you done parked it crazy?
The hoodie is a compliment to your taste of how cold
No, it was not a compliment to my taste. Hoodie ain't even my damn size.
Alright, so I'm gonna tell my version of the story. I'll let you do your thing.
Tell your version.
Alright, so we did get mail together, right? We got mail. And I forgot the mail was in the car. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's fair. You forgot. Don't know how, but you did.
So I got the hoodie because your car AC is cold, but I didn't want to turn your AC off because Arizona's hot.
The fuck kind of shit?
So I just go ahead and grab the jacket, you know what I'm saying? In case I go to the movies too, you know what I'm saying? In case I gotta sleep in the car. I ain't been home that often either, you know what I mean? So
you've been in the car all this time driving around the city and ain't.
What's up with it? And still, I see you interrupted me. So here's the main point I want to drive home. So
you ain't driving nothing home now. You walking.
So the reason why it was parked so tight is because I parked right. I parked there. I think it was like a Sunday.
So I parked like shit. Go ahead.
It was like shit. It was straight still.
It was like shit because you could barely get out the car.
All right, so that's what happened. Look, so I forgot that I was thick in a certain area.
Oh,
okay. Let me finish.
You were finished when you said you was thick.
Is it not a fact though?
It's not a fact.
How you know?
Because dumb. Because dumb.
Like I was saying.
Because no.
And so when I got out, I got out pretty smooth. But I forgot I was eating cornbread over Sunday and Monday.
Oh my God. This kind of shit I have to deal with, yo.
So the fitness came in a little bit faster than I thought it would. So I was trying to rearrange the car, because like you couldn't get in, so I had to slip on in. I was like, oh, I didn't know much.
When I say he struggled to get into the car. So you knew I was not getting into it at all.
I didn't know I was caked up like this.
And I was like, why would you even park the car like that to begin with? Whether you was getting in it a bunch of times or not, why would you park so close to the pole in general?
I had to use the bathroom real quick.
You had to do it that bad where you couldn't fix that car and park it.
I had ate some chili beans.
No, bro. No, alright, we'll see.
What you mean we'll see? I just told you.
We'll see. Later on he go, but hey, can I park my
ass? You can't see the pass.
Hey, you gonna see the future. And the future gonna hand up my car, and then you keep playing. He's like, oh, my park all crazy. Then go like, oh, what's going on? Go park the car next to. I'm sitting here looking at it. I think I have pictures of it still.
You do.
Because I was like, why would you park the car? Let me see if I got that picture still.
It's in your phone.
Because I was so mad. Like, why would you park the car?
Phone?
Because I'm minding my business. This dude's so ignorant. Why are you looking up? Yo, get out my face!
I'm trying to help you.
You're not helping me right now. Go park the car right. That's how you help me.
So, if you got something in the garage, why are you looking in the house?
Because I got the picture right here.
Why do you have it in your laptop?
Why are you in my business? Like,
you don't know why he got it on his laptop.
I do know I got it on the laptop because I put it there.
Why you put it there? Your Google Drive, huh? Damn, technology, IT. Information technology, huh?
Don't talk to me, yo.
International technology.
Don't talk to me, bro.
You ready to get in these movies?
I ain't getting nothing with you. Not a car, not a conversation. We just gonna be here silent on the podcast.
We
gonna be silent on the podcast today.
We got 3 movies.
That's what we doing. We gonna be quiet on the podcast. Hey, follow TikTok, y'all. We got TikTok now.
TikTok.
Get off the podcast. Get off the podcast. I ain't never seen no trash like that. Get off the podcast. That is probably the worst thing I ever seen.
That was a good one?
No, do it again.
That shit was terrible.
Do it again.
TikTok.
Get off the podcast. Get off the podcast.
Oh, man.
Yo.
That shit was great. What's the TikTok?
Cleaning Dishes Podcast.
You put the whole thing on there?
I couldn't put Cleaning Dishes. It was taken already.
Who took that shit?
Vino beat him. I thought maybe you made one. I was like, oh, maybe he made one. Bet.
No, I was bullshit about that shit. I didn't
I made one before you had told me that, so I already knew there wasn't one there.
But you always remember that it's me and the Mendem.
Well, you and the Mendem.
Hey.
You have to run from the body, girl. Them so sweet. Them when we chilling and ting.
I think that song got my energy
Me
peaked.
not ready for
I think that song we played earlier got my energy peaked.
That's a good song.
It is a good song.
That is a real good song.
And when you did have a light bill due. So, movies that we gotta watch. Movie that we did watch, my bad. So, recently ended up getting Apple TV Plus, Super Hyper Combo Edition. And so we ended up, oh my bad, it's wrong one. So, for real. So, on Apple TV, there's this movie called Cherry. So, I heard about this movie because I think, what's his name? Tom Holland. He did an interview talking about the movie that he did.
Did he give it away like he usually do?
No, not Red Hot Chili Pepper style. But Tom Holland talked about this movie and honestly, it's exceeded my expectations. And honestly, I think this is gonna be like the notch on his belt of like movies that he can do. So
yeah, Cherry
follows the life of a smart young man, Cherry. His name is actually Cherry. Who attended college and fell in love with a young lady named Emily in college. Through lack of conversation. Damn, I'm slow down. Through lack of communication and emotional trauma, Cherry enlists in the army and becomes a medic. From there, life spirals in all different types of directions.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a
fair assessment.
Yeah.
Platform is Apple TV, directed by Anthony and Joe Russo. Those names should sound familiar. Movie.
Why they sound familiar to us?
Because they did the Avengers. They did one of Iron Man's too. Written by Angela Russo. She has a last name too I cannot pronounce. Assist me.
Otstot.
Hey, better than I was gonna do. Starring Tom Holland and Ciara Bravo.
Ciara, this bee is automatic.
I was trying so hard to resist that.
You can't say Ciara and not do that.
Facts. So this is honestly like I didn't think the movie's gonna be that good off of like the name of it, Cherry, and then like as you watch it, you're like, oh shit, like it's a lot going on. It touches on like mental health a lot, and honestly, spoiler alert, how people fall into like drug usage. Yeah, it was pretty. It's definitely one of the ways to do it. It emphasized it a lot, and it was surprising because I'm so used to seeing Tom Holland. I think I've only seen him as Spider-Man. I don't know if I've seen him anything else before that. He was in that one movie with Robert Pattinson, but I didn't watch that either. Something about church. Like take him to church. Take me to church. I was trying to remember the lyrics after that. I couldn't remember it. But he was in that, and honestly, besides the Spider-Mans, he hasn't been on any movies on my radar at least, which is majority black. But
I don't remember him from anything else besides the Spider-Man movies and obviously Avengers and Spider-Man.
Right.
But so to see him in this, I was like, I wonder how he's going to do. Am I going to be able to not see Spider-Man? And I did not see Spider-Man at all. Like,
you know what? Yeah.
I didn't see Spider-Man at all. There was no traces of like the way. I mean, they did some cool things like with him breaking the fourth wall and stuff like that. Especially talking to the camera, which they intentionally do to kind of explain scenarios and give you a little bit of backstory of what's going on and stuff like that, why it's happening. But it was just done really. It was really good. Like it was to me, it was really good. I was like, whoa! Like the way they captured, the way I guess they just read his story, like how he got from point A to point B. I think was just really good. Trying to do everything without giving it away. I liked how they were able to make you get kind of like frustrated with how situations were, even though it wasn't such a stupid thing. It was kind of dumb. Like just the whole thing of like her being like, I'm out, I'm going somewhere.
No, that was stupid. And I don't blame her. I blame more him because of what he did.
Yeah, his reaction to me was crazy, but that's so realistic. Like if you're in a situation, a lot of people do this. Like when they're in a situation, they feel like their life is going to go nowhere if they stay home.
Facts.
And the one thing that they kind of had going on is because people do this thing where they put everything into one person. That one person disappears, not depressed.
Yeah.
You seen that in what's that movie with the show with Zendaya? Ooh, the show with Zendaya.
Malcolm and Marie. Oh, you talking Euphoria?
Euphoria. She put everything in that one girl, and that one girl kind of like got out, and every time she got out of her life, she went right back to the drugs, hella hard, because she was on drugs first.
No, she did.
Then she put everything into that one girl. That girl became like her new drug. And then when that girl disappeared, she went boom, crashed hella hard, relapsed, everything. And so, like, remember that.
I ain't think about that as.
So, and that's a lot of people do that. It might not be in the form of necessarily taking drugs, but it becomes in the some form of depression a lot of times. People do this a lot of times when they don't have anything else going on outside of a relationship. They don't do anything else besides work and have this relationship. One of those two things disappears, and they just, especially if the relationship leaves them, boom, they crap out. And so to see that happen, so him to make that decision that I'm gonna just go join the service, the armed services. I was like, our armed forces, whatever you want to call them. I feel like, like that to me is a very, especially at that age.
I think he was 18.
He's super young. Like, he's pretty young.
18, 20.
Yeah, young. So I was like, at that point, like, that's actually I wouldn't say logical, because I was looking at it from my perspective.
I want to join the army.
That's not logical to me. To come back to join for that purpose, that to me doesn't seem very logical. Like to go from, I was going to do all these things, but because you're out of my life, I'm just going to go join the army. That's not logical. You joining the army to protect the country, sure. That's what you want to do. That's logical to me. But to do it as a reaction rather than a proactive thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It just didn't. I was like, what? But even with the way they painted it up was kind of cool. And then how it went and how he ended up going through everything and came back all screwed up. And then I thought that was real because that happens to so many people, and it's talked about, but it's not put on a pedestal enough.
It's not how that much it should have been.
Right.
Because that movie definitely did show it. It put a lot of perspective of like how bad it is and how it's like I started off on these drugs that was prescribed to me, and now here I am. I can't stop.
Yep.
I started off with Percocets, now I'm on like every drug you can name.
Yep.
It was
bad.
Do you even need any of these? No. They make you feel good though.
And like how easy it was in the system because they're not really caring. They're just like, you're just a checkbox.
Yep.
You're just another patient. You're not even like a person, just a patient. Like I have to do this. I have to be here. You have to be here. Let's just get this over with. And to see how that was going and stuff like that, it was crazy. It was kind of sad. And obviously, if the person gets involved with drugs, you see the person deteriorate a lot of times. You see them become a shell of themselves. And so you saw all that. And so it was very interesting to see all that and see the maneuvers and moves he was making and doing to basically keep up with his drug habit. Essentially, everything he was doing was just to keep up with the drug habit. That's really what it was.
Yeah.
It was nothing more than us just keep up with the drug habit. And so it was kind of sad because you saw someone else that he liked and loved go run to that same situation. It just got really bad.
That was crazy. Like, spoiler. But it's the reason why his girl got into like drugs. I was like, that made sense. But that's terrible. Like, I was like, fuck. It's like there's nothing you can do about that because you in the stupor yourself. So
yeah.
I was like, man, this is nuts.
It was sad. And it to me, it just felt like a real story. Like that's really how that shit goes down at times.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
Really how it goes. Everything that happened. And that's what I liked about it. Because the last few things, obviously, we seen him in involvement and like CGI and all kinds of stuff. So to see him play a darker, much darker role.
That was a darker.
Like a much darker role than what he usually plays. It was and he did a really good job to me. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It was like I got glad I saw it.
Yeah, it was definitely a good watch. I definitely would recommend it. I'd give it like a solid I think I would give it like a solid 8.
I was thinking the same.
Like an 8, yeah. It was really strong. I thought this movie was well because it exceeded my expectations. I thought, usually you hear like they're going straight to a certain platform, you kind of go, it's probably gonna be alright.
No, honestly, cool. Like nowadays,
they've been good lately. Before I would think that it's probably gonna be alright, but then I saw
it feels like sci-fi some shit. I'd be like,
usually I'm like, hey, but even the sci-fi ones be kind of like, oh, it's kind of hip or something.
Stop talking to me, bro. No.
I like sci-fi.
Like sci-fi the genre or sci-fi the TV or like the network?
The genre.
Okay.
Oh, you mean sci-fi the channel?
Yeah, that's on the channel, not the network.
Yo! I thought they've had like maybe 3 good ones. I think sci-fi. I thought they had like 3 good ones. I was like, oh, it's not that bad. Remember we watched that one? It was yeah, it was that one we watched. Not talking about Dan.
Time Trap?
No, not that. Not that one.
That was so interesting. But it just.
You talking about the one it was in Iraq? He was in those Not that one. That one had to turn. That one didn't go too well. It was another one we watched where they got. I think that was sci-fi, and they ended up.
Caught in a canoe.
I thought they got stuck in a house, like in a loop of some sort.
I know what you're talking about. You talking about that one where it was like a puzzle.
Escape room thingy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that was a sci-fi.
That was okay, and that was on sci-fi. It was okay.
That was like a 7.
I don't remember.
I think I was a 7. I remember being like, this actually isn't as bad as I thought it would be. Now, granted, you set a bar low. Because of what you're watching. You have a low bar because of where I'm watching it.
So I always set my bar on even kill. Anytime I watch a movie or a show, I always set it at 0.
Sometimes I lower my expectations. Like that like if I'm watching something where I know like this channel is not known for having the best movies. And I'm watching the movie and I'm going like, it's probably gonna be like like it usually is. And then you go in and you're like, this was better than okay. So that does that bias does kick in with those kind of things to me. Like when I watch, like as you know, like sci-fi isn't known for having like the best movies. So the Sci-Fi Network, I'm saying. So I would go in there kind of looking like I'm not expecting to be thrilled and be like, yo, this is great, we'll watch it again.
Right.
So I've seen that and been like, this actually held up pretty well. I was like, all right, cool. But
is that a genre now? Like
sci-fi?
No. Yeah, but no. Like puzzle movies.
I feel like they will fall under usually under thriller.
I was gonna say suspense. Yeah, I guess so.
Thriller. So it could be suspense and thriller, depending on what it is. It could be horror.
Is it thriller nice though?
Exactly. Because you knew that shit was trash. You knew that shit was trash, bro.
That was pretty good.
It's sci-fi. That was a sci-fi joke. That was a sci-fi network joke.
Michael Jackson was sci-fi.
He said it was a thriller nice though. He was like,
I give Cherry an 8. Trying to think. What else we talk about that in the movie? Somehow did a good job. What's the young lady name? Emily. She did good. That's her character name. Can't remember her real name. Oh, Ciara Bravo. She did a good job being his wife. What's the old boy name? The other Wilbur brother? Was that? No, it wasn't him.
Mark and
Antoinette.
He said Antoinette. Nigga, no.
That were about me.
Nigga, no.
I find that's
Jeff. I don't know if that. I think he said that was well. I
don't remember who he was though. I was thinking it was like
Jimenez. I don't know who he was in this movie.
Let me
see. Hold on.
Oh, another reason why he joined the army is because he felt like he had nothing else to do, and because of the state he was in. The friend group he had, they was going to the army anyway.
Oh yeah, but no, I thought they wasn't. I thought he met somebody else in the army. He was totally different.
It was another dude he met, but in his friend group, they were like, going back and forth about joining the army. And
I thought they were all arguing about why it was a stupid idea, but none of them were joining.
No, one of them was. And oh boy, the rapper was in the movie also. Kyle. So the character he was supposedly hanging with, that character was going to the army already. He already signed up and enlisted. And remember, I don't want to say Navajo boy, but the one guy that was like against it, he was like, no, I don't join the army, it'd be a waste. My brother went to the army and like it fucked up his brain. And like, you gonna go, you do the same thing. And then Cherry had enlisted on the low and was like, I'm going ahead and let's not tell nobody. That's why when he was going off, it was like, let's let him join. I mean, that's what he want to do.
Yeah.
And he just skedaddled.
Did he get killed?
Who?
We don't know.
Who?
Kyle, the one that he was the one that went to the army, right?
We don't know. I don't remember if he said anything about him. Yeah. Kyle didn't go. The other dude did.
Oh,
Kyle was smart.
Okay, that was.
Kyle was like, I'm good.
You would be smart and go and join the army though. Just for clarification, you can be smart and join.
You can.
Yeah, let's. I mean, you have your reasons.
You are right. That's very immature. You can.
You can be smart, yo.
I mean, for real. I'm not even trying to like cancel culture shit. I'm being dead for serious.
No, same. That's what I'm saying. Like you can definitely be a smart person and still join the army. But all right, yeah, like I joined it for this, that, and the third reason, and it came out well for me. Yep. You could join it and not work out for you, and then you'd be like, damn, what was you doing?
For sure.
But like, no, you could join and definitely make a real career out of it. And
man, as a matter of fact, you can go to the army and get smart, honestly, because they teach you a lot of tactics and shit. Yeah. Tactics and schooling and education.
Yeah,
that's why some people go.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. Shit, I know people that graduated this year that went army.
True.
That went to the services. I thought they were a Marine though. The one I'm thinking of particularly, I think she was a Marine. But yeah, she served. What's so funny? Oh God!
I thought that just now. I marked it too, so I'm gonna take that out in a second. So next movie, which honestly is gonna lead us to hopefully lead us to another topic if I remember correctly. So Monster, which is on Netflix, directed by Anthony Mandler, written by Walter Dean Myers, who was the author of the book, Colen C. Wells, and Janece Shaffer, starring Kelvin, Harrison Jr., A$AP Rocky, and John David Washington. So the movie goes. A promising high school student finds himself in a situation that leads him to jail and fighting for his freedom. So first off, John David Washington. He becoming that boy. He already was, but he becoming that boy. Like, I didn't know he was in this movie and seeing him there. I was like, oh shit, is that really him? And you started seeing him.
What's his name, Boo Boo or Bobo?
I don't know. Look it up.
I'm looking. The B.O.B.O. is Bobo, right?
B.O.B.O. Bobo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he played the character Bobo in the movie. He wasn't there very long though.
He wasn't. He like I won't say as a cameo, but he's definitely like a special guest, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because he's not there at first for the first what? Maybe
majority of the movie,
he's not even there.
They missed an hour.
It's
It's A$AP and it's Kelvin.
Yeah.
And my man's I can't remember his name. The man that played in Westworld.
Jeffrey Wright.
Right, Jeffrey Wright.
He's on this list somewhere, I know.
He's
not, there he is. I was looking through on the slide. Okay, yeah, it is Jeffrey Wright.
Underground legend, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, dude's pretty good. Was he on our list of actors that we did that one time?
He was.
Okay.
It's that I think that we didn't put him high enough, honestly.
I feel like because we had our favorites and stuff, we put him up, but he definitely was. I feel like he was on our list.
He definitely was on our list. He's on both our lists, but it was like we had other people in there, and then we didn't see that one jail movie he did.
Yeah, that was good too.
And we didn't see this movie he did. We didn't see.
This one came out 2018 too.
What did it?
Monster. I think it came out 2018.
You sure? That version?
The one I'm looking at right here says it came out 2018.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I thought it just came out. Apparently, it's not for a minute.
All right. So I'm trying to think what should we discuss first. I'll get straight to it. So I've heard one person say that they're tired of movies like these because it always paints black people in a bad light. So my defense was, or a comment I had was, this movie was based off the book, and the book came out years ago. Like I was in high school where I read this book, and my thing is always like, you can't. I understand that like a lot of times when we see movies and stuff, it's always about the black plight of like avoiding jail, avoiding being in the hood, and getting shot and killed. I understand that 100%. Stereotypes and tropes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's based off the book. So like, I feel like if you didn't know that, or if you haven't read the book, I mean, you kind of knew. You should know what you're getting yourself into. If you didn't, I understand. But
yeah, I didn't know it was based off of. Actually, I didn't know that. Yes, I did. I just read the book. I didn't know it was based off a book until I was about to go watch it because it says like based off of whatever.
Based off the novel,
whatever. Yeah.
They modernized it though, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. I get sometimes it depends. I think to me, it depends on the I have to watch the whole movie before I say whether or not I'm tired of watching certain things.
Of course.
I do go sometimes. It is like there are times where I'm just like, yeah, I'm not in the mood right now. Just very much to watch another slave movie or something like that. Like I have moments like that. I don't watch another slave movie. Like
what's the last slave movie you watched? I honestly can't remember the last slave movie I watched. Honestly.
I feel like it would have had to have been.
Like I haven't seen Harriet Tubman.
I've seen Harriet Tubman.
The one that just came out?
Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
Really?
I've seen that one, yeah. I've seen Harriet Tubman. It may have been...
Without Me? Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It may have been... you tried it.
I didn't try anything. I was say my fact, and I just left it.
You tried it.
Alright, slave movies.
Maybe the Nat Turner movie? Well, there's slaves in it, but...
It's centered around slavery, though. You can't have Nat Turner without slavery, so...
I think it would have to have been, if I'm being honest, I think it was the Harriet Tubman movie.
I mean, it just came out not that long ago, so I would assume as much.
I think it was the Harriet Tubman was the last, slave... Like this is based about slaves and going from there.
Slaves and freedom and slaves.
Yeah. Which I didn't mind it so much because I went in understanding exactly what you knew what you were going to see in the sense who she was, who her character is, and you knew it was going to be heavily a lot of slavery involved with it and stuff like that.
If you didn't know that, it's crazy.
And then also, I guess the idea of what makes it hard sometimes is when you go 12 Years a Slave would be hard to watch again. Because that was just it was a man who was free and then got captured and just had dirt done to him for 12 years.
I seen that movie.
And it was damn. Really?
Damn, 12 years of that shit?
12 years. As a free, you was free. Someone just captured your ass and fuck it. Let's get him.
Took your papers. Took your freedom papers was yeah, you a slave now, bro.
Yup, and that was it. You were just a slave. And for 12 years, you had to endure that shit. And mind you wasn't just and because you were free, you were educated. So you knew. So it wasn't like you didn't know of any other options. That's what made it even harder. You had options. You knew, not that you had options, but you knew this wasn't the only way. You knew and understood that. I think that's even worse. Going into slavery, understanding that it wasn't always like this, but that there's other worlds beyond this. There's other life outside of this. I think that's 10 times harder. And having had it, not only just knowing, but having had experienced that, and then suddenly be thrown into a situation you couldn't. But I'm not going to get too deep into that. But I'm saying all to say that I can understand why sometimes you could be you get tired of seeing movies that depict Black people a certain way. Sometimes I do, sometimes I just don't feel
it's kind of like what you said. It kind of depends on how it is and how it ends.
How it's gonna go.
What was that movie? Ava DuVernay had did about the about the 6-7 minute
Central Park.
Central Park 5.
Okay.
6 or 5.
5.
Central Park 5. I didn't watch that. I couldn't. I heard you watching it. I'm yeah, I'm good.
I watched it because I didn't know a lot about it, and so to me, I felt the need, not the need. Well, yeah, I felt the need to watch it because I wasn't going to read it. I wasn't going to read about it, so I felt the need. So I was I'm not going to read about this. So I just felt the need to watch it for that purpose because I wasn't going to read about it. I'm sure I could probably read and get more out of it, but I feel I got enough out of that to understand. Yeah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That shit was fucked up. So I don't know. It's not always because I'm sure at the same flip side, people could be I can't watch another one of these movies, but they could easily watch a Don't Be a Menace. They can easily, they can easily watch some real hood nigga shit where the niggas put themselves through number bullshit.
Men's Society,
yeah, type shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of movies like that, and we watch them all day, every day.
I do believe in balance. I do agree with that. If you I don't want to learn about slavery, that's cool, but also you shouldn't be so quick to watch Men's Society or South Central. Granted, they have learning lessons in those, but at the same time, it just glorifies a hood mindset that we all fall victim to.
Yep. I think a lot of people do that. They're I don't like watching this because it's in the third movie, but you quick to indulge in the negativity musically, and you're quick to indulge in it in other forms outside of slavery. So it's kind of so at that point maybe it's just a slavery thing that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. So, but that is, I think it's important that you mix that shit up.
All right, real quick. Actually, no. Let's go to this and let's talk about the movie first, and then I'll ask the question afterwards.
Okay.
This is me going to funny questions, but it's not fun, but it's not. So what you think about Monster?
It was good. I think I liked it. I did like the movie. It played out how I could see a situation like that. I could definitely, I don't know if it's based off a true story or not, but I can see how a situation like that would play out in that way. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Where you kind of you trying to hang out with somebody, you're trying to befriend somebody so they don't beat your ass. So you're trying to befriend them. Because if you're going to befriend them, they're going to become your bully. And you'd rather them be your friend than be your bully.
Facts.
And so you're dealing with that, and then seeing them, excuse me. And then seeing how that relationship progresses, and try. I don't know. I can see how that situation happens, how that all plays out. So to me, that did feel realistic. Even to like the parents coming, even to like the police coming to parents and telling them one thing, then trying to arrest the boy all of a sudden, shit like that.
That was nuts.
I was like, I can see that happening. I can see definitely the cop being like, oh yeah, we just want to talk to him, ask a few questions, and you think okay, well, what happened? They kind of explain a little bit. No, okay, cool. So you come down and go get your son for they not showing any signs of like I'm trying to gerb you and shit like that. You're unaware of their actual, you know what I mean, their actual plan. And so you will get your son and turn around like psych and try to take your son away. It was like, wow, like I can see that happening. I can see all that shit happening and how that shit just played out, like how it went. I can see that playing out like that. And then him feeling like, because he was a smart kid, him feeling like, like, is she really here? Is my lawyer really trying to help me, or am I just another body to her? Just another person. So like those monologues he was having amongst himself, I could see those being real thoughts and those being real feelings for people.
Cause I'm pretty sure it has to go through your mind when you have someone like, if you don't have a public defender, because then public defenders are worse. You can see that they're shit, and they bring you with them. And it's like, yo, how many cases do you have? Am I just like, you remember my name? Yeah. Am I just a number to you? Like, what the fuck? And then you have because I think they got an attorney outside of like the public defender, which is smart. And I'm supposed to trust you, but I don't even know you.
Yep.
And I'm supposed to believe that you have my best interest at heart. And at the same time, I didn't do this crime. And I want you to know I didn't do this crime, but whatever I say, you don't believe anyway. And that affects me as a person. Because it's like, well, you don't care about my truth, then like, how I know you're supposed to defend my truth?
Yep. And on top of that, why would you work hard? I'm not really paying you.
Well, in their case, they were.
They was paying her?
Yeah.
Who was?
The parents were.
I think the parents were paying her. They was paying somebody else, wasn't they? They was paying that lady?
That was his lawyer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So like, they would have, they said Rocky had a public defender, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think
I thought she was a public defender.
She was too clean for her to be a public defender.
She wasn't a public defender?
I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
Well, they said they had money to pay. I didn't know. I thought she was.
She dressed nice. She didn't look stressed. She was like, hey, look, hold on, I'll take these notes down real quick.
Wait, what? So she was his lawyer? I thought.
I was under the impression that was his lawyer.
Yeah, I thought she was a public defender. Because I was wondering, I was like, wouldn't she have had,
She had her briefcase with his case and that shit. That was it. There was no like, oh my God, I'm so swamped today. Or you're just another case of the 200 I got. It was like, hey man, how you doing? You cool? Need some water? I'm taking these notes down. I have a few questions for you. She was cool as a mouse in the cheese wheel.
Yeah. I was trying to see her.
Her character bio a little bit or something.
Yeah, who the character was. I thought she was a public defender. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I didn't think so.
I thought that's what his biggest. That's why he was asked for. She's just another body to her. I thought he was afraid of that she was going to be his public defender and not be like.
I'm pretty sure she had other cases, and I'm pretty sure she had other people that she like defended before. So it's like you just another dude that like I got God for.
Right. That's why old boy came in and said you really gonna go through blah 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 blah. Yeah, I don't know. Then there was but one thing I did like about the movie too was like the parents. I like the fact that they depicted the parents as having successful careers. And
dope parents.
Both parents were present, living in the same household, which I think was dope, which you don't see a lot of.
Facts.
And then on top of that, they both had they had good jobs, like really good careers, and they were like, even in the moments of passing, they would teach. Like the dad called them in and was explaining to him because the son was super into like
photography.
Photography, yeah, is that what the word?
Filmology.
Yeah. Yeah, he was super into that. Yeah, like cinema and camera and film. He was into all that stuff, and so he was explaining to us like dad's was a marketing designer. Graphic designer was explaining to him like what this thing was called, the style of art photograph or whatever it was called, or these borders were called. And it might just in a moment of passing and see him have that moment where the son's kind of dope.
Yep.
Because I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like that's what that is. Like, and it's like, wow, like, so that's why I was saying I can't always. That's part of the reason why I said earlier I can't necessarily knock a movie off. Like I can't see this because of without watching it, because you'll miss up on those moments, on those kind of things like that. Like damn, like these are actually really dope parents doing dope things for their child and stuff like that.
Shout out to Jeffrey Hudson and Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, they did a good job. Jeffrey was great, so I was like, okay.
I'm sure she was, but I go front.
She was real right.
So not the main question, but I had the question of, was he guilty? Should he have been, from what we seen in his recollection of what happened through many people's different memories, when we get into his mind of what happened, do you think that he should have been found guilty?
With the evidence that was provided, no. With what we saw, yes.
Okay, yeah.
The evidence didn't show that he was guilty, but with what we saw, what we knew, yeah, he was guilty.
Guilty shit,
He wasn't. He might now. Here's the thing. He might have not known all the ins and outs.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? In that aspect, but they asked him to do a certain thing, and he proceeded to do that something. He proceeded even if he balked out halfway through, he did proceed to go do it. Right. He proceeded to go do it. So as far as I'm concerned, if I sent you on a mission and you went off to go do the mission, you did the mission. You went to go do the mission. Like whether you chopped out halfway through, at that point you were part of this. You're part of the conspiracy.
Yeah.
Like you were part of it. So at that point, yeah, he was guilty.
Yeah. That made me sad because I was like,
yeah, he was guilty
because he didn't have that street knowledge or street smarts.
Right.
He wasn't like he was bullied into it. So old boy was saying like, oh yeah, like he's like, I'm getting to him myself. The one person recollection of the story was he was saying like, oh yeah, so and so had bullied me into this. Like I ain't want to do it, but I did it anyway because of so and so whatever. And that's the complete opposite. Like he was like, no, I'm about to go home. He's like, no, like go ahead and do this errand for me. Man. In fact, bring your bike, nigga, go ahead and do that shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna take your bike. It's like he was coerced. He was coerced into doing it for sure. He was coerced. So now if he had said that, yeah, maybe he could have got away with it. But then he had to admit. But then if he had said that, he would admit he had a part in it, and then that would be a bigger problem. So that was the thing. He was coerced into doing it, but he did do it. Whether he was coerced or not, he did do it, and he lied about doing it. And on top of that, I guess ultimately ignorance is not innocence. Like,
no, it's not.
And so I was like,
way it's not.
Just because you didn't know that's what was going to do doesn't mean that you didn't play a part in that.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
I don't know if that's a black saying or a law saying. That's definitely, I heard that many times.
Yeah, that's not the same as innocence. So like, yeah, so no, I think, my point of view, he was guilty. He definitely was guilty. He got off lucky.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely is one of the situations where like you got to get a jail free card. You really did. It wasn't free because you had to pay a lawyer, but
yeah,
it's one situation like, hey, you gotta fly right. Give back to the community or something.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of situations where kids are like, I didn't know what was going on fully. I just was like, this person told me to do it, and like we supposed to be cool, or whatever, and so I did it not knowing.
Yeah, and that's so. And to me, those situations are scary because like, let's say you got out of jail. Who's to say that his homies? Obviously, he was like running with the dude. One of the dudes was like running with a gang and all that stuff. That one of the dudes that ends up in jail was running with the gang. Who's to say they don't come looking for you now because their man's is locked up and they're not angry about it? Right. Like I feel like once you get into a situation like that, like you can still be screwed on the outside.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because people can still come back to like, oh, I came after this person, but it didn't work out and I got locked up. Yo, dead this nigga, B. Like, and you know what I'm saying? And now it's on and popping. So I don't know, man.
Is it bad that like I'm glad he didn't snitch?
Who?
Our main character. I can't remember his name. His character's name.
What do you mean? Glad he didn't snitch on what aspect?
So old boy gave him a deal, and his lawyer said no, but never was. Oh wait, he didn't have a chance to snitch.
Yeah, I don't think he
didn't have a chance because like basically everybody else had turned on them. Yeah. And so like there wasn't even a chance to be like, hey, we give you a plea deal if you lie and say so and so did that shit. They didn't even have a chance to do that shit.
Yeah, no, it was basically the case was damn near. Was this person involved or was this person involved or not? Because we knew the others were already guilty of it. It was just a matter of how severe was the suspension could be. Right. But the main case was he part of it or not? That was kind of more so the case than anything else. So yeah, like them taking the stand. Of course, they won't say he was part of it. They're going to jail. They're already getting booked. So hearing from them wouldn't make no sense. But so for him, you wouldn't want to start that pot if you don't have to. I wouldn't stir that pot at all. Like, so in that situation, no. Because that would have led to you, okay, you got off free, but now these dudes are hunting you down.
Yeah, for sure.
Now these are hunting you down. It's like, yeah, no.
Especially in New York.
Yep. They gonna hunt you down, bro, for real.
So I remember our great friend Aaron, I thought about this because it's like one of his favorite questions to say no to. Would you go to a slave museum?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like,
I didn't think you was going to say that. I was hoping you'd say no so I can say yeah.
No, I would say yeah. Like, I wouldn't. I'm not one to pass up
education.
And a moment to learn something like that, yeah, I'm not one to pass up a moment like that to really see things, to see things for what they are. Because it's one thing to know, I understand it, I understand these things, but to see it, to see shadows, to see like whatever it may have been,
right? To
really see it, and like I think the kind of thing that passes through you as you, it's like if for those who go to church, a lot of people that go to church or go to a place of a dwelling of worship, there's a different kind of, or even a concert. It's a difference between watching it live at home.
Oh yeah, and experiencing
it. And being there and experiencing it and feeling the energy and feeling the things that pass through and stuff like that. And the things that overcome you when you're in those situations. Right. I think I would like to experience that. Now, it wouldn't be top of my to do, like, yo, I gotta go to the slave museum. Like, nah, I would be good on that in that aspect. Like, if I'm going somewhere for the first time, my first ordeal, my first thought is going to be, let's go to the slave museum. Like, nah, that's something maybe I've been here a couple times before, whatever. And then I was like, I'm stopping here,
Have you ever been to one?
No, I don't know slave museum. I've been to museums before, and I feel like they might have some stuff about like slavery in it, but never like a dedicated slave museum.
I did when I was younger.
Yeah, where they have a slave museum that you went to?
I went to the Jewish one for the Holocaust. We went to like a slave one. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember exactly where it was, but I do remember going there. I remember they had, like you said, the shackles. They had like the description of how they laid down the boats and shit like that. So
right, and I remember seeing stuff like that too. But I don't remember it. I was way younger. I probably was too young, but I was a lot younger. I wasn't even in high school when I went.
It like this. It didn't get the same light and like remembrance as the Holocaust did. Coming at the end of the Holocaust, we actually met with a Holocaust survivor, and she had a branding on her, the tattoo of branding on her still, because of like the time. Was still like she was still alive.
Wow.
Yeah, so like the Holocaust I remember seeing now, I was like, whoa, that hit, of course, but also slavery that hit also.
Yeah.
But hopefully being so, I don't want to say it was so long ago, but not having anyone to give me a recollection of what they went through from being transported from one place to another, it doesn't hit the same. But everything I experienced there was like, oh, like, this is some bullshit. I remember that vividly.
I will say this though, one thing that would, before I went, because I was supposed to be going to try to gain this knowledge, there will probably be more research on my end before I go. Like, just for verification that, like, this person legit, like, took the time to do it. It wasn't some dude with some money just throwing it together, like, get the niggas in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, on some real shit. Like, because if that was the case, I'm not going. Like,
oh, yeah, if it's money grab, no.
Like, but if it's like, no, like, these are people who were historians. They've been studying this all this time. They actually been through and took the path, whatever it was, and they done the research to understand and really, and be able to give me those little nitpicks, like, yeah, like, how they used to take fucking their cornrows and stuff rice in their cornrows and stuff like that, so they have something to eat on the road and shit like that.
Right.
Like if they wasn't on the tip of that, like being able to tell me little information like that and shit, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, cause they did this shit. They would take grains of food and put it in there and braid it in. And I was like, why would they do it? I thought originally they did that shit. I didn't understand it. It was for snacking on later. I thought it was just like
the cornrows was like a lot of things that black people did were survival. It was never like, not everything was like, I'm trying to live fly. No, I'm trying to survive.
Yep. It was to hide the food in the joint and keep it pushing and stuff. I was like, oh, I did not realize that.
Like the idea of like cornrows supposed to help make a path of how to get to freedom.
Yeah, they would do different design. Yeah, show paths. So I did hear that, but I didn't know the food thing. And I'm wondering now if that's why they were called cornrows. But I was like, probably just because the rows of corn look like. But it's probably because rows of corn. If you ever seen rows of corn, that's what they look like. Okay.
Hey, look that up, bro. You might be onto something.
Okay, why are they...
And corns don't like no rows of corn.
When you're growing corn, the way the rows and the fields look.
No. Just look it up, bro. I think you're onto something, bro. I think you're onto something. You really just kind of stumped me out a little bit. Corn. Yeah. Oh, you know what's funny? You said cornrows, and I definitely thought like cornrows. And you said rows, and I was like, oh yeah, rows.
Yeah.
Is it Rowe or Rose?
Rose. Some people say Rose though. People will say I hear it's going cornrows. But I think it's Rose because we was in the hood.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they gentrified it. They was like, no, it's more like Rose than Rose because you get rows and columns. Like nah.
Cornrows like a row in your boat. Came archer. Traditional style of braids, which your braids close to the scalp using underhand upper. Okay.
So nah. No
straight
answers.
lines and terms applies, but they can also be styled depending on the region of the world. Cornrows are worn by all genders. Okay.
No, never mind. I'm not gonna get into this whole thing.
They got time from how long it usually takes to do it. That's funny. It's on Wikipedia. Go ahead, y'all. Get down.
Wikipedia.
That's why I like this stuff. It's pretty funny.
If the person that made that wasn't black, I don't want to hear about it.
About what?
Cornrows.
Yeah, I mean, so far everything they have here is legit. Like, they're talking about, like, oh, it could take up to 5 hours. Depending on what it is they're doing, it could take, sometimes the process could take 5 hours to do it.
How do you feel if someone white did research? I should say white. I don't want to make it like I'm aiming at somebody. What was someone outside of being black was like, did research on cornrows?
Yeah.
And that bothers me, though. Because, like, don't study me like I'm some type of species.
It's not study. I mean, here's the thing. Like, my thing is...
Give me a piece of paper and a pen. I'll take care of the rest. Don't just...
I feel like if you have access to the information, and they have access to that same information, like, what's the...
Nah.
Now, if they take that same something, that same information, and they capitalize off of it, and you didn't, I would go, what were you doing?
Trying to figure out the math. They already had the math. That happens a lot. That's why all these black people make up these dances and shit, and white people be like, oh, word? I got a manager, I'm gonna take care of that.
That's because you keep giving them the dances.
We don't own it, forgive.
Then you can't say you made it up. Like, if you don't own it, you say you made it up, then did you make it up if you don't own it?
Yeah, because I made it up. You might have me triggered.
I'm just saying, I won't say that.
I'm telling you, you might have me triggered.
I hear that all the time, like, we made up this and we made up that, and they came and just took, well, how did they just come and take your shit? Like, how?
There's an actual path on TikTok you can take to see who the originator of something was. You can be like, oh.
Then check, okay, well, then you do it, and you got something going, you see it popping off, like, you gotta jump on that train, like.
You can't patent pen in a dance.
Okay, you say that, but at the same time, the white people have been blown up off of that somehow.
I know, it's really be bothering me.
Okay, so how are they blowing it up?
Some cheat code that we don't know about.
Okay.
I'm not being funny, being for real.
It's okay.
See, you gotta take me serious.
I'm not right now. Like, because you're not giving me a real answer, you're saying it's a cheat code. Well, what's the cheat code?
Alright, so basically they figure out the math of like, oh, if I take this dance and I figure out how to do it, at least acceptably, and somehow I get a manager and I keep pushing from there. Cause like it's a thing a lot of times, like black people they do shit just because, like for example, like we'll do shit out of survival just because it's a thing, not knowing that like we sitting on a multi-million-dollar product.
Yeah.
And somebody else will see that and be like, oh, that's money. And like they want to tell you, just take that idea, like how you make that? Alright, cool, and just find a way to market it and have it going. Yeah. Whereas like our mindset is like that because the idea like I'm trying to survive. And granted, part of surviving should find a way to make profit of what you do. I agree with that 100%.
I remember you saying a while ago about gatekeeping and the idea of a lot of times when you look at other cultures that do certain things a certain way, it's for that they gatekeep that shit like a motherfucker. Like there's things you won't know, and so part of it is like I do understand. I'm not stupid. I understand that. Yes, there definitely is ways they've done it in the past where black people be doing all this in third. They come around and get an agent or some agent and took all the money and then robbed them and gave it to the white boy, and the white boy's doing it now and he's getting paid off. That's been happening for a long time, and that has been happening and continues to happen. But on the flip side of that, it's like, okay, when that was happening originally, that we didn't have the access that we have now to things. There's so much more data and information available to you that for it to still be.
I mean, this isn't the 60s and the 80s and the 50s no more. Like,
right.
We're in the future now. But it gets to a certain point where we still don't know the process and the code. I don't want to say code like cheat code. I mean, we don't know like you say, like, you got data available, right? But it's like, you don't know what you don't know. So it's like, if I have all this information, what do I do with this? Whereas somebody else may already know that. And a lot of times, let's keep it a buck. Unfortunately, subconsciously or consciously or not, when things are presented from a white person, we accept it much easier and faster. Versus when a black person does it.
So that becomes a problem with your own people more so than with... Now there's a reason why, I'm sure, and stuff like that. But that becomes more of a problem amongst your own people than the white man getting this and getting away with this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not putting full responsibility on a white man.
I just feel like at some point it's like, all right, you're not wrong in the sense of like, yeah, like it is definitely gonna be more likely that a white person can do something that a white person and a black person can do the same exact thing, and a white person is more likely gonna blow up and go further with it than a black person is. That generally is the case, because whether they know how to market it better or whatever it may be.
Right.
I mean, like we've seen that multiple times, but it does. But at the same time, it's like there has to be a way, or there. I just find it hard to believe that in this day and age, like especially if you could, like you said, if you can go back to the originator and this person is doing your money, sue that person. Like, I'm saying so.
You're right.
If I'm doing that, sue that person then. Let that nigga blow and sue him. Like, I clearly did this first, and then you took it and you did this and third. But if you can't patent it and you can't, then what did you really have?
But I can't afford a lawyer. But that's the other point. It's
like,
hard.
I mean, if it's a case if you got a real case you're going to win, the lawyer will be like, fuck the money, let's go.
Creativity is one of the things where it's hard to prove. Like the whole situation with Pharrell and Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye estate has sued Pharrell because they said that he took he sampled one of his songs or whatever, and was like, no, I took the film, but I didn't take the song. And so they went to court in the state of Marvin Gaye and eventually won. And it was one of the things of like, I didn't, in Pharrell's mind, his point of view was like, I didn't sample your stuff. I took the feeling, if anything, but I can't sue you for the feeling.
Right.
And so they went to court and the state won, and it was like a real big thing at the time. Still is.
I remember talking about that. Like, and that does happen, but again, hey, this is my shit. No, it's our shit too. Yeah,
it's easy. It goes down to it, and sometimes you work the process, and it's like, well, it didn't work out in your favor. Sometimes it does. A lot of times, I really hope it does work out in favor of what's justice and what's right. But. Yeah.
So I feel like, because part of me is kind of like, okay, like, because you do see that a lot where someone's doing stuff, these dances, and they blow up, and everybody doing. But I was like, but if you just said that on TikTok, you could go back and find the originator of the dance. Like, this was the person who originated it. It's kind of like.
That's why I was really happy for Natasha Bedingfield. She did that. So, did you hear about the remix they had to her song? No. It was a song, Unwritten, I think is the name of the song. And they did like a bounce mix. I'm surprised you didn't hear the song. It was crazy.
I don't know the song. I don't even know.
Let me sing it for you?
Honestly, if you gave me the word, I would know what it was. I don't know what it is.
Anyway. So basically,
what's it called? Unwritten?
Yeah. So I look up Unwritten bounce mix or some shit. Booty bopping bounce mix. I don't know. And so these kids came up with a dance for that song. It got big. It went popular, whatever. Natasha Bedingfield got hold of it, and she was like, "Oh, this song's hard." She danced to it too. And then I think I'm gonna say 3-6 months later, she ended up getting those kids on her TikTok, and they performed it together. And basically, she's like, got the way, let them do the dance, so they got more recognition for it.
Right.
And,
so
and it was like much props to them and her for that.
Right. So I feel like, and that's the thing too. We take these things, and then there's other platforms that are black owned that are out there that we don't put on stuff, so which happens. And I know you look at me at the look, but this is what happens.
I didn't give you no look.
You did. You gave me the look, but I'm gonna prove my shit right now.
Please do.
We say we gatekeep, but you quick to throw it on a white man's shit or some Asian dude shit. Real quick.
No, you're right. You're right.
Broke it, and then you be like, they took my shit. No, you gave it to them.
But back to the code. If I make a platform and it's not as popular as TikTok or Twitter or wherever else it is, what's stopping me from getting to that point? It's not how it works. I already made the app. Right. But at what point is it marketing? Is it actually like somebody giving me a push? Is it just some celebrity using it? Like, what is it?
I think the thing is that we have to understand too, in the world that we live in, unfortunately, there's always that disadvantage. So you have to understand that sometimes the shit that you make is not gonna blow up like that for a good minute because and the primary reason isn't because it's not so much that they're blowing up because they have a code all the time. It's white people support white people and it's more of them.
Yeah, that honestly usually is always the case for the most part.
It's white people. It's more of them. If you take the same amount of black people that put on a white platform and put it on a black and put on a black platform, and then and don't make it so only black people get on, but just make it like, yo, this is like we own this shit, like this is our shit, and you was do that same shit. It'll get there. It's gonna take a lot longer to do, and I think that's the thing. A lot of times is. Are we willing to really go that distance and wait it out that long and enjoy the patience? Like I'm putting stuff on TikTok, but I'm also not like, oh my God, they stole my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. I'm understanding like whatever I put on there, I put it on Facebook, TikTok, what the fuck it is. I put it on the internet, nigga. It's the internet's now. Like that's a wrap. Unless you got it copyrighted, so it's the internet's now. So you kind of got to go and understanding that. Like they even have you sign a little agreement, nigga. This is all shit. We probably gonna use it in a commercial. Like
nobody read contracts.
But whose fault is that?
Whose fault is that? I'm just saying.
So we can't sit there and be like, oh my God, they keep gatekeeping. No, you just not You literally giving them the shit, and then be like, oh my god, they took my shit. You let Debo borrow the bike, then man, you let the thieving boy Debo borrow the bike, knowing he was going to steal it.
He should get back though. Now Craig got to fight him.
Then they got.
Craig could have went to jail for attempted murder.
He would have went to jail. No, because there was fighting. There was a fist fight. That's all.
He pulled the burner out first.
Craig pulled the burner out, but never used it. He brandished the burner. He never used it. He put it away. And they know whatever it is. Whatever. He didn't go to jail.
You can't just say whatever it is.
He wasn't going to go to jail for it. You know why? Because the hood understood. He was in a black neighborhood, in a black community, and it was understood that, look, like, that's not how we handle this. How we going to handle this. We're going to use those fists to cut.
And it was understood that we should have killed him.
And on top of that, it wouldn't have been that because old boy hit him first. And that's why he pulled the burner on him.
He punched him or he pushed him?
Oh boy, whatever it was, a bigger nigga put his hands on him first. And he was going to self-defense and blow that nigga head off. And that nigga had threatened to beat them up earlier already once.
And it depends what the laws is. Yeah.
I mean, that's true, but what law is there where if a person threatens your life, you can't pull a burner on them and blast them?
I don't know. Some places is equal force.
Okay. A little bigger nigga put his hands on me and shit like that. Besides that nigga put his hands on me, that's equal force, my nigga. I just shoot in the arm or something. That's equal force. Fuck that. I was like, nah. But he pulled the burner on, but he didn't use it. He branched the burner because the dude did put his hands on him. He's like, oh, okay, cool. So then he put the burner up, and then they got into a fist fight, and then that nigga had to hit him with a brick.
And a trash can.
Yup, hit him with a brick and a trash can, like, bow, bow.
I like this conversation. It went everywhere. I like this.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I don't know how we got to that point.
Hey, I love that. I was going to ask that question.
Of gatekeeping and all that stuff.
But it was much needed.
Oh, I think it was something about the museum that if someone else white owns it and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
Cornrows. White person did cornrows.
That's cornrows, rice, and grains in your hair. Yeah. Don't laugh at that.
And you was like, what fight?
The Mitchells.
He said he had the soul food. He had soul food on the side of his head.
Cornrows, not rolls.
Soul food. No, gravy on this side. The lather was gravy. Like,
does that mean to keep going? I got quiet for a reason.
I want dinner.
No. You know how you get quiet? Let me know I said some crazy shit. I'm gonna say thing to you. You're not getting a hit. You're not getting.
That was a good one, though.
No, it wasn't.
How wasn't it?
You can't make them jokes, bro.
Why can't I make them jokes? Why can't I make them jokes? You tell me.
You should make them jokes.
Why?
Because it's very insensitive.
How? How?
Talking about black people having gravy and mashed potatoes in their head with French fries is crazy.
I never said mashed potatoes with French fries.
What did you say then?
I never said mashed potatoes with French fries. I said they had a little rice and drums on this side.
You might as well.
And they had a little soul food. And then they had a little gravy to lather it down. And you talk some, they had what's in that? Come on, dog.
Can you talk about the fun movie now?
Let's talk about the fun movie, Dan.
The Mitchells versus the Machines. Platform is Netflix. Directed by Michael Rianda. Written by Michael Rianda, Jeff Rowe, and Alex Hirsch. Starring Maya Rudolph, Danny McBride, Michael Rianda.
Let me see Maya Rudolph, because you were saying that earlier, and I was like, I don't know who this is.
She's a beautiful. She's on SNL. She plays Kamala Harris a lot of times. Abbi Jacobson and Eric André was in this movie. Don't hate. She a black queen. Don't do that. Y'all took that same skin tone too. Why you laughing?
That don't mean nothing to me, nigga.
It means a lot.
I was just like, you was talking about this chick, like you.
Shouldn't you think she a beautiful lady? Lie to me. Go ahead, lie to me.
Nah.
Wow. You don't lie to me then.
She cool.
When somebody says lie to me, that don't mean you lie to them.
I'm not lying to you. I'm just find her that's super attractive.
She's the
I honestly, in my head, when you said that shit, I was thinking of like some other, cause I've seen some of the women that you like, oh my gosh, this woman is so bang to bang. So to see them and see this, I'm like, this is very different than what I expected.
Oh, she also the hormone monster, so that helps.
Yes, and I was like, okay. Then once I see, I'm like,
see, you get my head a little bit, bro.
Yeah, and it's all kooky because you clearly was like going crazy, and I'm like, no.
I already thought you already knew that.
No, what?
I already thought you already knew that.
Knew what?
That my head was kind of kooky.
No, she's cool. She's
like
cool.
The Addams Family.
She's cool. A little spooky.
Nah, but the movie. Meet the Mitchells, which is comprised of. I'm down. I said crazy. Meet the Mitchells, which is comprised of Rick, Linda, Kate, and Aaron. When the oldest daughter gets accepted to college for film, she is excited, but her family has separation issues. To savor the last of their moments, they decide to drive all the way to California. On the way to California, Pal, basically like Apple OS, gets an update that changes the Mitchells' whole itinerary. This was my best one. I like this one. I think I wrote this one. Pretty dope.
No, man, it's good. It is good. Yeah, I give you credit when it's due. It's good.
So you saw this movie Wiley, we're not gonna get into that. And
I told you I was watching too.
Yeah, I don't know why you did. It's a very sinister review.
That was what?
Very sinister review.
Okay.
See, you don't care about me, bro. It's all good. This is a really great family movie, and I was very surprised that I liked it as much as I did.
I think now when we say family movie, I want to stress for people. A lot of times when people say family movie, it's just a kid movie.
Family matters.
With some adult under. We should get into that too.
I kind of wanted to.
With some adult undertones or whatever, or overtones, however you want to put it. This movie was actually it was definitely built for the family to watch it. Yeah. Like it was definitely built for like the adult and the child. And
no, honestly, I want the definitions. I feel like Pixar does that too.
Not a lot of times. A lot of times, they're ones that are usually known for doing adult, maybe having adult overtone or undertone to it, but it's primarily for a kid. Okay. It's geared towards a kid a lot of times. This is the first one I've seen that not the first one, this is like one of the ones I can say I was like, nah, this is definitely like adults and kids. Okay. Like, y'all both can watch it, but okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't know, that's how I felt about it. Because usually on it's like, as I said, some overtone or undertone of adultness, but mostly designed to be for children. Yeah. This one was a bit different. This one was a little more mature than that.
What other movie you think falls up under that category?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man what? Spider-Man what?
No, I like Spider-Man, but I don't think that falls under this category. I think that was definitely for like Spider-Man fans and children. Yeah. I feel like
You just said Incredibles yesterday. I kind of was like, huh.
Not that they, as far as them being a full family.
Yeah.
That's as close as they got. I feel like the Incredibles had some very adult.
I feel like they had the other what you said like
the first way.
The other way. You said the adult overtones with like kid aspect.
And that's as close as I think I can get is that. Cause I feel like that's what they probably did. Shrek did the same. Nah, Shrek was just like kids. But Shrek was the first one I saw that did that. I feel like that was like a lot of overtones. Like if you was an adult, you'd be like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. But
yeah, that definitely had a lot of overtones.
Yeah, I feel like this one. I don't know. I feel like this one, and maybe it didn't. It just did it differently.
It just felt good how they did it.
Yeah, it just felt good. I mean, because that's usually the case. Usually make movies like this. So usually the case is like it's mostly geared towards the kids. But
you know what I think it is? I think that because I don't know what made you. I don't know what you said that triggered it. I think the fact of like the way the characters themselves and the way that Kate edited the movie plays a big part of like the meme culture and the gift culture that we're in now. Mm-hmm. And so as an adult, when you see that, it's like I definitely would do the same thing, or I do that in my regular post. Yeah. And so I connect to that more.
Yeah, you know what it is too. As you're saying that, what I think the big thing is she's college bound now, so she's right at that cusp of I'm still a child, but I'm becoming an adult. Yeah. And then she had a little brother who was a child, super like dinosaurs or something like that. So you had that. So you had that aspect of it. And then you had that. What is so funny?
But he said dinosaurs.
That's how he's like dinosaurs.
Small shit and it just kills me, bro. That'd be really unexpected. But go ahead.
That's what he did. Remember, he was doing that a lot. And so and I think that's what did it because she was a college-bound student now. Yeah. So she's no longer a child, but she's not a full-throttle adult. Right. She's still very much under her parents' wing and things like that. I liked how in this movie, there's going to be some spoilers in this one, but outside of the relationship with the parents and like how, one thing I liked about this movie was how they emphasize how much technology has destroyed the family. Like in a sense, like the family was dysfunctional because they were all super into technology. Yeah. Like they weren't communicating with one another. This would be a text. They be in the same room. It's like text. It's no real like.
They weren't on that level.
Yeah, it was from times where dad was trying to, because dad was like a super duper outdoorsman. Like let's be outdoors, and like he was a woodsman. He was a real woodsman. And the mom was like, I'm in between. Like, I understand both sides. I can see both sides like Chanel. And then the kids were very much so like, we're tech bound. We're techies all the way. True. And so to see like that dynamic between like, the daughter and the father play out, how she's like super into film, digital film and all that stuff. And and he's like super into like, let's go outside and play. Let's just...
Handsy. I'm like more like outdoorsy, handsy.
I'm a woodsman. I'm a real woodsman. I carve up things and And so I like how they actually show like the family kind of like, not that it got destroyed by technology, but that it created a gap
Yeah.
A huge gap between the daughter and the dad, and so you have that aspect of it, and then you have the aspect of I'm becoming my own person.
Right.
So you have those two things that you have to combat with. Before it was just becoming your own person, and as times change, you start to get into things more and more. But it was those two things. Cause Dad was like didn't super believe in her ability with the film and stuff like that and all that. He was like, I don't really believe in that like that. Like, cause I'm a woodsy man. I don't trust it. I think you might fail type shit.
That was a crazy conversation.
That was.
I was like, yo, he really gonna go all the way and say this shit?
Yeah, I was like, yo. I think she asked him, and he was like, what? And she asked him, why do you think I'm gonna fail? And he was like,
she asked him yes, but he kind of hinted at that direction already.
Oh, he did. Like, what if it doesn't work out? And then I was like, yeah, he definitely hinted at the idea. You're right, he did hint at the idea of that it wasn't.
Like, yo, like, in his head, he was like, oh, it's just ass. I don't know how you can do this.
I thought you was gonna be ass. Like, y'all, like, yeah, nah.
That was tough. Like,
but it was real because sometimes people do go into because here's what's messed up about that and what's not messed up about that. Is what's messed up about it is the idea of you telling somebody that's trying to do something that like you gonna fail. That's
hands. Cause I said like hands.
I was like, whoa. Like the idea of you doing something like this, you could fail, but at the same time, it's like you could fail in anything.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not something that needs to be said. It's something you just kind of roll with. It's not something he was wrong at. You don't have to say that. But you're also not. But you not understanding it, I would understand why you would feel like because I don't know people who succeed in this. I don't know that. I'm afraid you might fail in it.
Facts.
But I wouldn't stop you. But I wouldn't tell that to you, and I wouldn't stop you from pursuing that either. But I would definitely also want you to consider is this what you want to do?
All right. Yes. That.
You sure it's what you want to do?
I feel like especially as a kid, if you feel like this is what you want to do, this is what your calling was, go with that 100%. And like you don't need a plan B. Because I feel like if you go with this 100%, wherever you fall, even if you fail or you fall, you gonna land something else.
Right.
And I feel like it makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think on the flip side of that, depending on how the education is being paid for, plays a part in it too. Because if you go in there doing something, I'm gonna be an apple fruit I'm gonna design clothes for apples. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever, like not say apple, like apple, piece of fruit, whatever it is, something crazy.
I know what you mean.
You be like, nigga, what? Like I'm not fit to pay for this. You know what I'm saying? So it's there's this line of like, well, I don't know.
So for designing fruit for apples, what major would that be? Just curious.
Modeling, I guess. Fashion, you can do fashion. And some dogs are small too, so you could design small dog clothes. But you don't have to go to school for that. You just design.
Don't play. There's a lot of money in animal clothing.
Yeah, there is. I was saying that's a more like, but that is like there are some things you go to school for, and a lot of people go to school for it and stuff like that to be successful, and they just can't find jobs in it and stuff like that. True. Facts. Which happens. I don't think that's necessarily because they weren't successful in it. It's just that field was either hard to get into or wasn't a very lucrative field to begin with. Mm-hmm. Like, and so that does happen. So ultimately, I don't, especially in this day and age, there's especially with something like film, there's no failing. Because even if you don't do good in school, you can always see that shit to YouTube. Like, you can put on some other dude's platform. Some other dude's platform is going to have it, and they're going to take your shit. But
Shaffer take it.
Like, somebody, you'll see the movies there. A lot of people start with them Jews, and they end up making their way up.
Amazon Prime?
Amazon probably has some good movies on it, too.
They also got some bad ones.
Yeah. Where else don't you see bad? You see bad movies everywhere.
Amazon Prime sells that, though. No disrespect to Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, I guess you would say, is...
What was that one we saw with the... what was cussing out the camera every 2 minutes?
Cussing out the camera?
And he was on drugs and he went to jail.
I don't remember. That wasn't a good movie. That wasn't a good movie. I was like, oh...
Don't remember the name, but you remember that part.
I remember the movie wasn't good. I remember that was part of that movie that wasn't good. So I was like, okay, yeah. But no, so I ultimately think that you just kind of got to be willing to be like, yo, like, that's still up to you. Let them do that, no matter what. Whether you pay it for it or not. I get the idea of like you feel like they going to something that's not lucrative. Like, just because you don't have a passion for it, they don't. They won't be. Just because you didn't succeed, that doesn't mean I won't. Facts. And I've seen that is a salty conversation too. Is when someone's like, no, why you doing? Like, when I first went to go to school for game design, I kind of had a conversation. I had that conversation a couple of times, like game design. Why are you going for game design? Blah blah blah.
And tell you why they was playing the game.
Yeah, like and I was like, really? And so it was kind of funny to me at the time, which is funny. I didn't end up doing that, but I ended up finding out that, as you said, like, okay, I wasn't really messing with this ass like I thought I would, but I jumped out of that. In fact, I found an aspect I did like of it and jumped over that, then jumped on something else. That connected to that, to further that.
Right.
So I agree with that logic. Like, but it's funny because that conversation. That's all I was saying. The conversation to have with that sometimes is not only is the why, like you might fail. You won't fail. That's a bad field.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the other conversation of like, why do you think I'm gonna fail? Because you did. And that's another conversation you have to have.
Yo, have you said that to anyone before?
I've had the conversation with when I first talked about going to game design, my parents weren't the ones who was like giving me a hard time. They were most like, you want to go that far? Like, oh, like, closer? But my mom was like, is something close? My dad was like, you gonna be your own man, you gonna do what you gonna do. My dad was always supportive in that way, like go be great. My mom was more like, you want me to be closer? Like, you can get closer here.
They got full sail.
I was like, Mom, I can swim, but I can't swim that well. They have hurricanes and shit. I can't swim through a hurricane.
That is true.
So yeah.
Ain't good different Florida too.
I be Florida man and shit now. Like that's crazy. Like,
and you being Florida man is nuts.
Like Gator man. That's my YouTube channel and shit. I be biting alligators and shit. Anyway, and then so I've had conversations with relatives, with people outside my intermediate family who were like, game design, why are you going for game design? There's no money to be made in this blase, and it's like you going out there for that, like that's not a smart decision. I don't think you should go, blah blah blah. And it's like, you didn't go to school.
Yo, what's up with you, bro?
Like because of it.
That's a real statement, but still, like
what school do you recommend? What school did you go to? And it's just like that's how really I went. Like, well, what school do you recommend? What school did you go to? And yeah, I know they didn't go to school, so it was like, well, this person went to there. I was like, oh, so you let them go pick the school that they wanted to go to and go to. So like, all right.
Well, they said the school of hard knocks.
You must have failed. Daddy, wow. Dad, would you be mad at that?
How you go to school of hard knocks and end up being a nurse?
Heal up your own wounds.
Have you looked at the cast of this movie? Mitchell's in the Machines. Their cast of their voice cast is actually pretty interesting. One of the voices of the robot was Blake Griffin.
Oh yeah, huh? Pal Max Prime.
Deborah Cox.
Yeah, I have to see that.
She provided internet.
She was Pal.
Man, that was a good joke. Okay, that was a good joke. That was a great joke.
So those who don't know.
How did you get here?
No, wow.
Remember, nobody's supposed to be here. Remember that.
That's a good run on. So Cox out here. Cox is everywhere. I think it's Comcast Philly. I think it is.
Oh yeah.
It's not everywhere. So Cox is an internet service provider.
Okay,
and with the movie being about technology, he says Deborah Cox was in the movie she provided.
No, one of the robots' name was Deborah.
Oh, Deborah Cox?
Triple entendre. You can ask me how.
How?
Deborah Cox and Deborah Cox, the singer, and then Cox Internet. Then you got interwebs.
And you lost this. But no,
Can you quadruple? Somewhere better than home.
Come here.
I know.
No, that's neck. That's neck, bro. That's neck. We need to get on air. That's neck on air. That's neck on air, bro. But that's disrespect. That is disrespectful. That was no. That's neck. That's neck. That's neck. That's neck on air. That's neck on air.
No, it's not.
That was disrespectful.
It's your opinion versus my opinion. I think you're there. Oh, me have that. Go ahead.
That's neck. That's neck on air. That's so disrespectful.
That was blasphemous.
That's neck again. Just for people in the back. For people in the back, you didn't see it. Come here.
No.
They didn't see it. They didn't see it in the back. That's neck twice. That's neck. That's so ignorant.
You don't get another one, nigga.
You might have to get another. I was disrespectful.
All right, don't worry, he forgave me, bro. He knew I was on some bullshit.
Hold that, like, why would you have to go through that? Like, no. But
hopefully, I'm gonna say I'm better now.
I like the fact that in this, the antagonist wasn't actually the robots per se, but the actual phone itself. Cause she was usually it's always
okay.
Because usually we always see it's always people like the world's gonna end because the robot's gonna take over, blah blah blah, and it's like they already have. Your phone was the robot that they were trying to warn you about, and it's already here.
You know how I feel sometimes when you be deep like this? I be feeling like the granddad from the Boondocks. He's like, I don't have any deep words to say. Huey, be deep, and here you come.
You stupid.
He's like, I was thinking, watch this movie, how the actual problem is the phones itself. There's no humans involved. It's the phone. I'm like, Yo, he on, dog.
That's what it is, because they always pan to be like, what was it? AI with what's the name? This
Terminator.
movie, Terminator. It's always some humanoid type thing that come and get you, but realistically, it's always been the phone. It's been you being attached to this thing like this and just being like, because the only reason they even make the humanoid thing is based off the OS off the phone and just updated it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you probably can control it from here. And so that was the destroyer. That was what was taking over the world. That's the thing that got people walking like this and walking in front of trains and getting hit.
That's not funny.
That happens. People literally doing this, texting, walking in front of trains and getting hit, shit like that. Dilly-dallying with their phones.
My favorite thing is, I think we all do is when you on the bed and you're in your phone and the phone slaps you in the face. I prefer that over like running to like a pole or something.
I think it's funny when you don't, like when you lay, let's say I'm laying down on the couch, I'm doing that, and it almost, the person that you see them jerk all of a sudden, and then you look over and they look crazy because the phone is laying there on their side, and they looking over at you like, yeah, I just did that shit.
Yeah, phone trying to take my life.
Like, phone trying to take my a homegirl of mine, shout out to her, she was telling me about a situation with her child, where they were using the iPad in the bed, and the thing fell and cracked them in their head. And
the iPad? It was bleeding?
It was because it hit it right in the corner there, bam, right in the middle. It was I think it was a tablet. It was a tablet. I don't think it was an iPad. It was a tablet of some sort. I think it was a Samsung, to be honest with you, because she said tablet. So
Pressure needs to wipe me?
Who wants to wipe? They definitely had a picture, and it was definitely blood. I was like,
crazy.
Dang, that's kind of salty.
No more phones in the bed?
Yeah.
No, just
crack they shit right in the middle of their forehead. Bah! Crack they shit, had some blood on it. Oh!
It smells fine. I don't find that hard to believe though.
Cause you
The fact that it hit my face a few times, I ain't end up with a black eye.
Usually I capture, I block it, or I dodge my head before it actually hits. Or I move you go like this and you slide it down to your chest or something before it actually smacks your face. Very rarely has it like actually like my face.
I've had like in the beginning stages, like my head like whichever one before the 8 bus.
Oh yeah.
Had a few where it was like smacked my forehead or my cheek.
And keep in mind we're talking about the child. Child's skin's gonna be softer, not as tough as yours, so bam, it's gonna be like easy to break open.
Oh.
He said,
well, yeah, nothing
Samsung said,
Remember when Samsung phones was exploding in people's ears and shit?
It was in their ears, in their pockets.
No, it was in their face. CeeLo Green was on the phone one time and it exploded in his face.
It did start popping up, huh?
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. It was like fireworks.
That was, I forget what era that phone was, but something was up with the battery, I thought it was. It was blowing up. People, the one kid went to sleep with it under his pillow.
What, he trying to get a tooth fairy?
He just went to sleep and he had it by his pillow for one reason or another, sleeping on it, and when he was sleeping on it, it overheated. And the thing caught fire and like burned through the backside of the pillow. Like he looked up, like he showed the pillow was like burned, like clearly it was just burned out. It was like, yo, you know how lucky you were, bro? You would suffer from mad burns and
3rd-degree burns. You look like Two-Face out here.
Damn, off because you decided to sleep with your phone.
That's what I wanted to say. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen did the voices for the Posies.
Really?
Yeah. I was the cast for the voice is actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
It was very I don't say awkward. Very I don't know, nigga, some deep word, nigga, I don't know.
You know what makes Maya Rudolph attractive? I think.
I mean, I got a list of things.
I think it's her talent.
Oh yeah, that's one of the items.
Like I think she's a decent looking, but I think it's I think knowing her talent helps a lot.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, she's a decent looking woman. I said that.
You know her mom's a singer. She's a very famous singer too. I can't remember her name at the moment.
Let's see, Maya Rudolph's mom.
Mother. That's all the movies I got, and yeah, that's all the topics I got for right now, at least.
Okay. All right.
That's all.
That's all I got for. I don't see the. I see the lady. I just don't see her.
Minnie Rippleton. Oh, the memory kicked in. Clutch. Sis gear.
Minnie Rippleton. Oh boy.
Hey, what kind of music now? I don't forget.
Ooh, okay. Well, this has been episode 161 of Clean the Dishes.
Squad.
I want to thank you guys for tuning in with us. For those of you who are tuned in for the first time, welcome. For those who tuned in for the 161st time, welcome back.
Blessings.
Again, thank you all for tuning in. Definitely check out the TikTok. We'll be posting there regularly.
Consistent. I'm gonna stop doing
Cleaning Dishes Podcast. That was working for me. Check it out at Cleaning Dishes Podcast. Check out the podcast itself on Instagram at Cleaning Dishes. Also check myself out at Twitter and Instagram. on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Fantastic. You can check out this guy at
T Us Reno Jr. on Instagram and Twitter.
Yep.
That's it. Weird.
Twitter and Instagram at T Us Reno Jr. No.
If I got some time.
No, you actually said it pretty clearly.
Wow, that's the first.
No,
just go ahead, keep going.
I'm not sure. Hey, don't forget you already know I wear my Saturday hoodie on Saturday. My towel Saturday hoodie. I got it on right now. You can get yours at towelology.com/shop. You can get this shirt here, which is called the Towelology Embroidered Tee. You can.
That's what it's called now.
You can get that at the towelology.com/shop. Use that code CDP.
It is.
And get 10% discount. Alright, so again, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been episode 161 of Clean the Dishes. Clean your hands, wear your masks, hand sanitize, and clean your plate. Peace.
That was a good episode. I like this one.
Yeah.